So Nancy Mace, she comes out and she says, real men protect women. Where this all started is she had a constituent, one of the people in her district, kind of nicely in a grocery store, say, hey, when are you doing a next town hall? That's all he asked. And he was 15 feet away from her. And she starts belittling the man. And she starts insulting him. And she starts giving him a hard time. And then and she's filming it. And then afterwards, she posts it up online. And she says, look at this. Look what this man is doing. He's harassing me when he's getting in my face. And then she follows up with this, real men need to protect women. If a woman feels unsafe, a real man backs off. Okay, but you say you feel unsafe, but what if it's not a situation where you're actually unsafe? That's a power move. That's a way to take control of the narrative, to take control of what's going on. What if I said, if a woman makes me uncomfortable, she needs to back off? Can I just go into the grocery store and when a woman's within 15 feet of me, I say, you need to back off. Put down your groceries and get away. Get away and start making a scene? Because what that is that's control. That's manipulation. That's control. That's what that would be. But you're saying a woman can do it and that's fine? I don't think so. He doesn't argue. He doesn't linger. He doesn't force her to explain her fear. Okay, so then basically he has to shut up because he doesn't argue. So if a woman says she's afraid and you need to back off, he doesn't argue. That means shut up. Can't say anything. He doesn't linger. That means you, at her express demand, need to leave the immediate area. And he doesn't force her to explain her fear. She doesn't have to tell you why. Shut up, leave the area, and I don't need to explain why. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like some feminist bullshit to me. This is supposedly from a conservative Republican. A real man respects her and walks away. No, I don't think so. You don't get to determine what I do in my life because you feel a certain way. Real men protect women. No, we don't. For what? How'd that turn out for Daniel Penny? After acquittal in Subway, Daniel Penny says he's vulnerable in the encounter. He had to go through millions of dollars of court costs and got arrested and time in jail and persecuted. And what did he do? He tried to protect women. Hold the line. Hold the line against what? Let me see if I can find this video clip here. Anyway, she says, some unhinged lunatic, a man wearing Daisy Dukes at a makeup store. Those are not Daisy Dukes. They're just short. I mean, that was kind of the shorts in the 70s. Got in my face today. He's literally 15 feet away from her. Dems are nuts, so I went off and won't be backing down. Hold the line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Try me. She got 50,000 likes and 17,000 comments. I'm gonna let you watch this video here.
I do them every year.
Every year.
You want to keep going?
Do you
want to keep going and keep harassing me? You could have gone to a dozen town halls last year.
I asked if you're doing any more this year. It was one simple question.
Yeah.
Are you doing a town hall
I've already
this year?
done one. I'll do plenty more.
Are you doing any more this year? It was a simple question.
You're always invited.
Okay, sweet. Well, look
And
out
by
for
the
an actual
way,
invitation
I
for the
voted
next
for
one.
gay marriage twice.
What does that have to do with
So
me?
I'm just saying, it has everything to do with you.
Do you think everything about me has to do with gay marriage?
I do,
That's
absolutely.
your first stance when you
Yep.
speak with me?
Absolutely.
There's no other humane
If you want to get in my
conversation you
face
can
about
have
town
me?
halls, you should have shown up
There's
to one last
humane
year.
thing you can talk about me just saying, oh, I support gay marriage.
Yeah,
That's
because you're getting in my face about a town hall. You could have gone last year.
Would
you like me?
If you have any plans to have more town halls this year?
I have town halls every year. I have over a dozen every year.
Great, that was my entire question. You didn't have to go into this spiel about it.
Now, this goes on for another minute. I'm going to let it play out. But understand what she's saying. All he said is, are you going to do another town hall? Then she starts making, now obviously he has a little bit of a lisp on him. Yes, he might actually be gay. But then she says, I voted for gay marriage twice. And he's like, what does that have anything to do with my conversation with you? Ironically, I am on the side of the gay dude, not the entitled woman that is saying he's in her face while just trying to ask calm, polite questions from 15 feet away. Like, why? What is she doing?
You could have come to any of them last year.
Okay. And
I had over a
year,
dozen.
not 2024.
Where were you the year before that?
Okay.
Or the year before that?
It was a simple question.
Oh, because you know what? Because you people on the left are crazy.
So I'm
You're
on the left.
absolutely fucking crazy.
I'm absolutely
You are.
crazy.
And get out of my face.
You're insane.
Goodbye.
You're insane.
Fuck you.
You're gonna Me? You're
Yep.
gonna be voted
Bye.
out so fast this year. I
I'm
can't
not.
wait for you to fucking
I'm not.
go
I
into
won
the
by
dirt.
so much.
You're a disgrace to this state. That's what you are. You're a disgrace. I asked you a simple question, and you just go on this tirade and tell me F you.
Yeah, f you.
Disgusting.
Get out of my face.
Fuck you. How about
Get out of
that?
my face.
You're nasty.
Try it again. What's your
You're
name?
nasty.
What's your
You're
name?
nasty. That's
What's
my
your name?
You say F me?
Yep, I
That's
sure
the
did.
first thing you're gonna say to me is fuck me for
Absolutely.
asking you a
Get
question?
the f out of my face.
You.
Now.
You.
F you. You couldn't take me on, baby. Stay the f away from me.
That is our Congress people. That is the people in government today. That is our government, everybody. Can you understand why, as a rational male, I say, that's not who I want representing me? Because if this was AOC, the right conservatives would be calling her out, saying how rude. If a leftist feminist were doing this, conservatives would be pissed off. How is she getting 50,000 likes on this? A congressional rep telling a guy to f off because he asked about a town hall? What the hell are you doing? Now, this is from Brian Krasenstein, who I disagree with 99.9% of the time on Twitter. And he says, imagine this thinking this makes you look good. You literally told a constituent, fuck you, because he asked about your town halls. You look like an unhinged lunatic. And he's right. What do men owe you, Nancy Mace? What do men owe anybody in a society? In a society that constantly tears men down. And you know, over the last couple of weeks, I did the interview with Andrew Wilson. We've talked about, you know, a lot of the cases, how feminists just control everything in all the institutions now. And now they come out and they say, well, real men do X. Real men protect women. Real men shut up when they're told to. Real men don't push back. Real men leave an area when a woman says to. She's a grifting feminist. That's all she is. At no point do these women ever answer the question when men ask it, what do you bring to the table? What do you owe men? What do you do for men? That answer is, we don't owe you anything. You don't deserve anything from a woman. She can do whatever she wants. Okay, well, so can I. Now, if somebody actually attacks somebody, would I try to defend them? Yeah, probably, because I'm in the real world. I don't live on the internet, and real things actually happen. Would I do something I probably would, but it also depends. It really does now. Days are gone where men jump in and just protect somebody because a part of them says, well, this might be dangerous for me and I might get hurt. And in the past, men didn't care about that because at least they would have been appreciated for maybe risking themselves to save somebody. Now it doesn't even make the 5 o'clock news. If the person's got slightly more skin melatonin than they do, they might end up in court. What if something happens? What if something happens to you? Is there anybody else there going to be around to protect and watch your back? Or do they just leave you bleeding out on the sidewalk? If you do something wrong, are you going to end up in court? Would a woman, I don't know, say that you did something inappropriate when you were just trying to be helpful? God knows I've done a bunch of stories like that. Men don't owe you anything anymore. Men don't owe society anything anymore. You want me to protect my country and go off and fight in a battle? Why? What for? So I can get injured and or ended. But what if I survive it, but I come back and I'm injured? VA doesn't. You're throwing VA people out of housing so you can put in illegal immigrants. So why would I become a veteran? Veterans health care is some of the best or worst, depending on what state you live in and what's going on with you and what issues you have. Why? Why would a man do anything? Why would a guy protect a woman like you? A feminist, rude, entitled, bitchy. Why would I protect you? If I were there and I saw that confrontation and she decided to keep telling this guy to F off and get in my face and see what happens, and then he ended up getting in her face and she started getting mauled, I think I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think a big part of me today would just stand there and say, shouldn't open your big fat mouth and wrote a check you couldn't cash. I don't want to be that guy. I really don't. And I can say this again, but if I saw a big, huge dude like Nancy Mace is this little petite woman, if I actually saw him rearing back and hammering her in the face, yeah, I'd go over and tackle him. Yes, I would go over and stop it. I would. I think that is in my DNA and my genes as a dude. But then if he started beating me up like that, I guess I'd have to say, well, that was pretty stupid, wasn't it? I guess I learned a lesson. I won't be doing that again. You know, sometimes you have to learn lessons the hard way, if we're honest. I think I still would. I think I'd do the same if it was a little dude. Like if a 6'3" guy started beating up on an effeminate, skinny dude for no reason, I think I'd probably go over and try to put the big guy in a chokehold. I'd be like a little monkey on his back, and he probably would just like brush me off or whatever. But if I could get my arm around his neck and put him cut off the blood to his brain so he goes to sleep, I'd probably try it. I might also get ended myself. But the whole point is now there is a big part of me that kind of says like, well, you open your big fat mouth. Good luck to you. I don't like this society. I don't like things being the way they are today. And my little tiny voice, our little tiny voices collectively as men that are constantly ignored. I can vote. I can do videos on the subject. I can speak out online. I actually reposted this stuff as well. I reposted this. Sure, women have times when they're scared of men, but now too many women use wording like this to manipulate men and society to do their whims. And why should we protect you? What do men get for that protection other than arrested and prosecuted, aka Daniel Penny? And 687 people agree with me. They liked it. That's all we can do really at this point is I'll vote. I'll speak out about it. I'll make videos. I'll post online. That's my voice. But other than that, do I really need to be a participant in this society? Do I really need, what do you need me for? If you need me, great, appreciate me. If you don't need me, I'm not going to do anything for you. And yeah, that means if I'm shopping and something happens, that's on you. I might play the hero in certain circumstances, but there's a lot of men more and more recently and more often that are saying, I'm not going to play hero today. You don't appreciate me. You hate me. Why would I stick my neck out for you? And I don't like this society. And I'd like to say I'll be a bastion of virtue and I would still do the right thing. It's not the same world anymore. What is the right thing? What? I don't even know anymore. And I think if we continue down this path, society will get worse. Men will continue to withdraw and the world will increasingly be a bad place. And it's easy to say, well, yes, weak men make bad times. Does it make you a weak man not to stick your neck out for people that hate you? Or does it make you a smart man for not sticking your neck out for people that hate you? I don't know. And again, I'm a keyboard warrior today. I'm sitting here in the comfort of my own home, and it's very easy to philosophize about how I wouldn't do something. But I also know me, and I think I might do something. I probably would do something. And that's going against probably the smartest thing to do. And I hate we're in that society today. I really do.